I kept it a secret from everyone and had a 2-year underground relationship with Victor Martinez's second personality, Lucas. After the college entrance exam, he said he was going abroad. He lied to me. He wasn't going abroad. Victor was receiving psychological treatment and Lucas was going to disappear. He said he could give me a birthday present and asked what I wanted. I thought about it. Then give yourself to me. It was his first time, and mine too. That seemed fair. The only accident was that halfway through, Victor woke up.
Welcome to listen to my full sweet love series novel. I'm the blogger and I'm Twilight's novel. Now let's start the main story.
Victor's hot breath and intense dampness intertwined as he stared at me in disbelief. At that moment I knew my boyfriend had disappeared. This was Victor, not my lover. I couldn't tell if I felt sad or something else. Though we'd crossed the most intimate distance, we were just classmates slightly more familiar than strangers. That's all. Get up. I patted Victor's shoulder. The awkward movements brought unfamiliar pain until Victor completely withdrew. I sighed in relief yet felt somewhat empty. Where is this? Victor's expression remained calm but his eyes revealed unsettled emotions. My home. I calmly put on my nightgown, picking up scattered clothes from the floor and throwing them to Victor as I got out of bed. Why am I here? Victor frowned. You were drunk. I don't know why you came here. Victor paused. Do I look easily fooled? I turned and silently watched him in the moonlight. After a long while I said, I had a boyfriend. Victor stared intently. He said his name was Lucas Martinez, your older brother. Victor opened his mouth but couldn't speak. So now you understand what happened? I asked. Can you leave? Victor paused, groping in the dark to dress. His body was still burning hot, so putting on jeans was somewhat awkward, taking some time to get fully dressed. The small room was cramped and unfamiliar. He bumped into a chair getting out of bed. But I never turned on the light. Before leaving, Victor turned back. When did you and Lucas get together? Sophomore year. He nodded. He hid you well. I've been in treatment 6 months and my therapist never mentioned you. If he appears again, could you? He won't appear again, I interrupted. Since your treatment started, his appearances became fewer. But how can you be sure? I smirked. If he had any strength left to suppress you, he'd never have let you wake up in that situation. After Victor left, I entered the bathroom and turned on the shower. Traces and warmth of being touched still lingered on my skin, but my lover would never return. As water poured down, I covered my face, unsure if what streamed down my cheeks were tears or water. Mid-shower, someone knocked. Victor had returned. If you don't mind, I'd like to talk more about Lucas, Victor said. I only realized something was wrong with me a year ago. Nobody noticed anything before. So, Lucas pretended to be me? I remained silent. Then how did you notice? Don't know. Recognized him at first glance. Even sharing the same body, face and eyes. I could always tell them apart. You didn't mind dating someone with multiple personalities? I frowned at Victor's harsh wording. You and Lucas are completely different individuals with independent personalities. While Lucas's existence may trouble you, he was important to me. Could you describe your relationship with Lucas? Not really convenient. Victor looked at me. Victor, you must understand our positions are opposite. Lucas disappearing means your recovery, finally becoming normal. But for me, it means losing my lover forever, bearing that pain alone for who knows how long. Victor smiled slowly. You loved him that much? Yes, I loved him. He glanced around. As a rich kid, Victor had probably never been in such a shabby place. But there were slippers with Lucas's name, cups engraved, Lucas, and photos of us together. Victor picked up a photo with a strange expression. Same face, but this smile looked so unfamiliar. True. Victor never smiled so tenderly. Was he gentle with you? Victor asked. Is that why you can't forget him? I took back the photo, staring at it intently. It's late, Victor changed the subject. I may visit again, hope you don't mind. This highlighted the biggest difference between Lucas and Victor. If Lucas was gentle, Victor used gentleness to mask coldness. His polite words couldn't hide his condescending manner. I disliked dealing with such people. Throughout high school, Victor and I remained ordinary classmates. He was class president, I was study committee member. We never contacted privately except for class matters. This was normal. We belonged to different worlds. Though both in the honors class with similar grades, my excellence came from needing education to change my future, relying on scholarships to survive. This required tremendous effort. But Victor's excellence came effortlessly. With wealthy parents and award-winning hobbies beyond academics, he'd long decided to study abroad, avoiding the college entrance exam struggle. I disliked him. Or more bluntly, I envied him. This envy likely stemmed from hidden insecurity. So even when noticing Victor's occasional odd behavior freshman year, I never cared. Until I saw Victor being extorted by hoodlums off campus. I thought someone like him couldn't be bullied, yet he handed over cash and took hits without resisting. Despite disliking him, I couldn't ignore a classmate in trouble. So I played police siren sounds from my phone and shouted, "Cops are coming." The thugs kicked Victor one last time and fled. Having done my duty, I turned to leave. "Wait," he called. "Thank you. You're Victor's classmate Claire, right?" I froze. "I'm Lucas Martinez, Victor's brother." "He's mentioned you." My first thought was twins. They shared identical faces, even the 3 small moles lining Victor's left ear. But I quickly dismissed this. Even identical twins wouldn't have identical injuries and bandages. During Friday PE, Victor scraped his palm playing basketball. The Mickey Mouse bandage he borrowed was from my discount purchase. Now Lucas had the same bandage. Suddenly, all past oddities with Victor surfaced. An absurd yet certain thought struck me. Victor had multiple personalities. I didn't know why nobody noticed Victor's condition. To me it was often obvious. Eventually, I developed a new hobby. Observing Victor between studies to determine who was present. They were different. Lucas smiled wider. Lucas fed stray cats. Victor didn't. Lucas was gentle at core. Victor wasn't. Lucas carefully played Victor's role at school, never acknowledging me. But one look told me who he was. Knowing my feelings, even after learning much about Victor through Lucas, we remained just classmates throughout high school. Lucas's appearances formed an undulating curve, growing more frequent over time. We visited libraries, watched movies, went to amusement parks together off campus. He often said he wanted to be with me constantly. Then I grew uneasy. Until Victor suddenly took a week off. Lucas disappeared too. After that, Lucas appeared less frequently. I knew Victor had discovered Lucas. The second personality shouldn't exist, must be erased. But what could I do? I couldn't bear losing my lover, yet had no right to stop a patient seeking health. Before going abroad, Victor visited me with flowers, blue paper roses with glitter called forget-me-nots. "I found these at home. Lucas must have meant them for you," Victor said. "Flowers that never fade." Lucas had promised everlasting flowers. I thought he'd broken that promise. "You hate me, don't you?" Victor said. "Like my parents, you'd rather have Lucas back, right?" I stayed silent. Lucas and Victor were twins, but Lucas died aged 10 in an accident. As kids, Victor was mischievous, Lucas steady. Their bike race led to a truck collision. Lucas died instantly. Victor hospitalized 6 months. Though parents should love both children equally, palms have more flesh than backs. After the accident, Victor's parents had screamed why Victor hadn't died instead. Victor and I weren't close enough for such raw wounds. But he was someone Lucas deeply loved. So before he left, I stopped him. "Victor, live well," holding the flowers I said from the stairs. "Eat properly abroad, no pickiness. Avoid those rich brats. You're different from Lucas. I don't hate you. For 3 years you've been my worthy rival. May your future be smooth." My life progressed smoothly as desired. Busy with studies and work, knowing connections mattered, I deliberately socialized more. Life grew richer than high school. After college, I joined a multinational company. Working overtime 2 years ruined my health but earned a down payment, finally owning a home here. High school memories hadn't faded but became like exhibition paintings, only for viewing. Unconnected to Victor's social circle, I heard nothing about him over the years. This wasn't regrettable. People meet and part constantly. At 10 a.m. Wednesday, waiting at airport arrivals to pick up my boss Mr. Thomas, I stood beside an exquisite woman in a black dress whose perfect figure drew my admiring gaze. Spotting my bald, kindly boss approaching, the woman waved excitedly. "Victor, over here." My gaze shifted slightly to see Victor in simple shirt and jeans behind Mr. Thomas. The bald head perfectly backlit Victor like a reflector, highlighting his flawless skin. "Mr. Thomas, here," I waved. The boss smiled. "Thanks, Claire." Taking his luggage, I reported work updates as behind us. The beauty hugged Victor. "I missed you." "Did you miss me?" I didn't hear Victor's reply, only noticing much later their conjoined arms heading toward elevators. Turning away, I smirked. That night, I unusually couldn't sleep. Rising finally, I stared at the forget-me-nots on my dresser. Through many moves, Lucas's mementos gradually disappeared amid life's busyness. Only these flowers remained steadfast all these years. Days later, my hometown called. The grandmother who funded my education had died, asking if I'd attend the funeral. Of course I would. Poor in childhood with a sick mother after father's death, my academic excellence brought school-arranged donations. This grandmother was my benefactor. She'd said girls had hard lives. Just study well while she covered expenses. Discouraging frequent visits, she said noble friendships needed no closeness, just good intentions. After earning money, I'd visited several times. A thin, bespectacled scholarly woman. She rejoiced at my success, saying not to worry about her, knowing I was good. I knew little except she was a retired teacher with a wealthy son-in-law and grandson. Her tone suggested disliking that marriage but accepting fate's poor familial bonds. Concerned about funeral arrangements, I immediately flew back. Withdrawing cash for a thick red envelope at the airport, I took a taxi to the funeral home, bumping into Victor in black suit and white flower greeting guests. Silently offering the envelope and incense, I bowed 3 times. Learning I was a scholarship student and Victor's classmate, the family called it fate, seating me with other young people. I immediately spotted Victor's fiancée Elena from the airport. Complimenting them as a perfect match, I observed the grand but not somber funeral where most chatted cheerfully. Watching the portrait while peeling an orange, Elena suddenly exclaimed, "You peel oranges just like Victor." Meeting Victor's gaze, I smiled. "Our local specialty, want some?" Initial awkwardness faded as we found common topics. I learned they'd been engaged 2 months after meeting abroad, that Victor recently returned to inherit family business. Secret competitiveness surfaced. Thankfully my accomplishments held up. Elena asked if I was single. "I have a suitable friend. Want an introduction?" "Thanks, but no," I declined, not planning to settle down. "Just meet, if unsuitable, make a new friend," Elena turned to Victor. "Remember Robert? How about him?" Victor coldly said. "Not suitable." Controlling my gaze from lingering on Victor, I excused myself to the restroom before breaking down. Logically I knew this was Victor, but with Lucas's face. I missed Lucas terribly. Wanting to study Victor's face for changes, hear about his life abroad. Apparently memory deceives. Until today, I'd believed I'd moved on. Taking deep breaths in a quiet corner, I turned a hallway to find Victor smoking beneath a tree, squinting at dappled sunlight through leaves. The smoke blurred his edges. Trembling, I whispered the name lingering endlessly on my lips. "Lucas." Victor looked over. "Claire, you're mistaken. I'm Victor." "No. Impossible. I'd never mistake them." Yet I clearly had. Victor approached. His unfamiliar scent and aggressive gaze confirmed his identity. "After all these years, you still can't forget Lucas?" He leaned close. "Was he that good? You like him so much. Should I bring him back?" For a moment I nearly begged him to. But reason prevailed. "Sorry, I didn't mean that." Victor straightened, smirking. "No need for pretenses. Obviously Lucas was more likable." I thought time would have healed Victor. Yet his bitterness toward Lucas seemed worse. "Why?" We returned separately to the funeral. Soon I excused myself, claiming work. My childhood rental long gone, I'd lost roots here despite growing up, always rushing in and out. Originally booking a hotel, I decided returning early was better. "I'll drive you to the airport," Victor offered politely. "No need, taxis are easy," I smiled. "Let's dine together sometime." But without exchanged contacts, sometime meant never. I struggled to restore normalcy. Working overtime weekends, I left the office at nightfall to meet friends at a new bar they praised for good drinks and affordable prices. Though drinking became my post-college stress relief, I preferred quiet bars over noisy ones. "Don't look so disdainful," "This place has quality and hot guys," my friend said. Her motto was, "The best youth preservative for women is absorbing masculine energy." This energy specifically meant men aged 18 to 25. Younger was crime, older meant impotence. Having little interest, I drank several silent rounds before ordering more. Feeling down? Drinking alone gets you drunk fast. I admitted. A bit. If I overdo it, get me home safe. Our rule was always keeping one person sober. Seeing my refills, she raised a brow. Must be serious. As I poured another, I spotted Victor entering with an unfamiliar, intimately close woman. But wasn't he engaged? Alcohol eroded my judgment. Sober, I'd have ignored this. But intoxicated, I approached. "Victor." His cold expression belied his "what a coincidence" words. Glancing at his companion, I asked, "Your friend? Does it concern you? You're engaged. So, you can't do this with Lucas's face." This I couldn't accept. Lucas had romantic purity. Victor shouldn't tarnish that. Victor finally reacted. "Lucas, Lucas, Lucas. You only see Lucas. Did you truly know him?" He advanced as I retreated until hitting a wall. Victor's cold fingers lifted my chin, forcing me to meet his gaze. "Afraid I'll dirty Lucas's body? But I'm a man with needs. If you're so concerned, why not offer yourself? Since we share a body, what you couldn't finish with Lucas, we can complete now." Victor's kiss was fierce, hot and unyielding. Exactly like Lucas's. Why were they identical only here? The more I tried distinguishing them, the more they merged into one. Perhaps my beloved Lucas wasn't real. Just Victor's fractured shadow, sharing his essence beneath gentleness. Tears fell at this realization. Victor's large frame blocked all light as he cradled my face, murmuring, "Does Victor instead of Lucas kissing you hurt that much?" I sobbed uncontrollably. Not even Lucas's disappearance had brought such tears. Victor patiently kissed my face from brows to chin. "If you satisfy me, perhaps I'll mercifully reunite you with Lucas." Clutching his shirt, I shook my head. "Don't you want to see your lover? He constantly misses you. I feel it." Placing my hand on his chest, he whispered, "Here he endlessly calls for you, to see, hold, kiss, merge with you. Don't you want that? I can grant this, but first you must be with me." I fled in panic. My first ever escape from reality. Daily, I feared Victor appearing unexpectedly. Nightly, I dreamed of my first time, Lucas above me, eyes conflicted. I kept confusing them. Lucas smiling while handing me homework, Victor coldly asking for bandages. Were they two people? No, they were one. Frequent nightmares even worried my boss. "You seem stressed. Take your 10-day leave while work's slow." Colleagues suggested skincare for my dark circles. Seeking normalcy, I accepted a spa invitation. Upon arrival, a refined woman at reception called Claire. Recognizing Victor's mother from the funeral, I greeted her. "Hello, Mrs. Martinez. What a coincidence." "No coincidence. I own this place. Have time to chat?" "In the lounge," she explained. "At the funeral we couldn't talk properly. I wanted to ask, were you and Victor together in high school?" Unsure how to respond, she continued gently. "Don't misunderstand. I'm not accusing anything. But Victor's been acting strange since the funeral. Perhaps I should ask, do you know Victor had a twin brother?" The same story held different perspectives. Speaking of her late son still pained Mrs. Martinez. Time heals wounds but not scars. Having lost one son, she couldn't bear losing the other. In high school, Victor showed similar signs. But grieving, we thought treatment had fixed everything. We believed him cured all these years. I admit we failed as parents, consumed by grief, neglecting Victor's needs. Understanding her concern yet helpless, I remained silent. Victor and I weren't even friends. Not pressing further, she sighed and changed topics. "First visit? Have some complimentary treatments." As I rose, a tabby cat slipped through the door. "Victor resents your preference for Lucas," I said suddenly, pointing at the cat. "Like how Lucas loved cats but he didn't." Mrs. Martinez looked puzzled, but Lucas was allergic to cats. I froze as countless memories flashed by. Did Lucas enjoy crafts? He was clumsy with scissors. Victor even drew his kindergarten posters. Recalling Lucas's cat treats and handmade flowers, realization struck. I'd been wrong all along, arrogantly believing I could distinguish them. Loving Lucas, Victor's twin. But had I truly loved Victor's brother? Before leaving, I asked my burning question. Is Victor getting married? Do you think he loves Elena? How would I know? I'd barely seen them together. Do you think Victor loves you? I should have firmly denied this. 3 years of high school held no romance between us. Yet I couldn't speak. Once clear boundaries between Lucas and Victor had blurred after realizing they were one. You're smart. Some answers needn't be spoken aloud. Victor has no marital expectations. His parents failed modeling that. But lacking marital hopes doesn't mean lacking hopes for you. I think you understand best what he truly wants. Did I truly understand? Victor's contact information sat silently in my phone as I sat long on a park bench before finally calling. After 3 rings, silence greeted me. Listening to his breathing, I accidentally hung up. Victor immediately called back. Speak, he demanded. You're not mute. Where are you? I automatically gave my location. Stay put, I'm coming, he ordered. Don't hang up. The call lasted 40 minutes until Victor's voice sounded both through the phone and beside me. Claire. Looking up, I saw Victor still holding his phone. You wanted something? I wanted to see you. Me? Or Lucas? Have you figured it out? No, I whispered. I can't tell anymore. Somehow, Victor and Lucas had merged in my eyes. Then do you still want to distinguish? This time I answered firmly. No. Whoever it was didn't matter. As long as it's you. I brought Victor home. No men's slippers meant he walked barefoot, casually examining everything. Where's your bedroom? I pointed the way. He immediately headed there, seemingly checking for signs of other men. Just flowers. Still keeping them after all these years? The forget-me-not stood out on my dresser. Victor sounded bitter, glancing briefly away. Silently, I unwrapped the bouquet, selecting 2 flowers. You did this on purpose, right? Their petal patterns were mirror opposites, clearly made by different people. Victor had intentionally shown me both he and Lucas contributed. Expressionless, he asked. When did you notice? Can't recall, too long ago, I countered. Did you like me in high school? Victor said. Sleep with me and I'll answer. This seemed his obsession. Perhaps eternally jealous my first time was with Lucas. Fine, have me. Victor's eyes widened. Really? Really? Unbuttoning my blouse and unzipping my skirt, I knew my thin frame wasn't conventionally attractive. But Victor clearly disagreed. His body remembered me before his mind did. Barely waiting to undress. His aggression overwhelmed me, like a beast fearing its mate's escape, biting my neck as if to kill us both if I resisted. Finally I understood why Lucas vanished at that precise moment. Victor's subconscious rebelled, demanding I see only him. What about Elena? Are you marrying her? He had his grudges, I had mine. We simultaneously voiced our unresolved questions. Victor paused. His presence overwhelmed as I struggled to breathe evenly. She's irrelevant, just focus on me, Victor murmured, nibbling my ear. Now answer me, who am I? Pulling him down, I bit his lip hard. Amid passion, my answer dissolved into his deepening kiss. You're my lover, you're Victor. From past to present to future.
Epilogue. Victor knew Claire far earlier than she realized. He'd seen her photo at his grandmother's. A thin girl in uniform with low ponytail calmly facing the camera. Claire's remarkable caring for her sick mother while excelling academically, his grandmother had said. Victor barely noticed then, until high school's first day seeing Claire by the window. That rare sunny September day, her oversized t-shirt hung like a sack on a stick. Beauty is subjective, but Claire was neither to Victor. She was just Claire. Yet she seemed to dislike him. Though never voiced and cooperative on class matters, Victor sensed her hostility. She disliked, even hated him. Knowing his popularity, Victor didn't expect universal appeal. Among 38 honor students, their top scores kept them at optimal classroom distances, close enough to see yet never. Living alone near campus, Victor occasionally visited family. Though accomplished, his dead twin Lucas would always outshine him. Estranged from parents unlike naturally affectionate Lucas, their wish that he died instead seemed justified. Then Victor thought perhaps Claire would prefer Lucas too. Soon after, Victor began experiencing memory gaps. Brief at first, forgetting hours like time had vanished. Nobody noticed, unsurprising. As the dazzling sun everyone chased yet burned by, people only wanted his perfect surface, ignoring his inner rot. As gaps grew more frequent, Victor sought medical help. Diagnosed with multiple personalities, perhaps his subconscious disliked itself, becoming Lucas. That chaotic night waking over Claire, countless thoughts crystallized into one. Even Claire preferred Lucas to Victor. Discovering his secret chat account with Claire and their sweet history, plus the unfinished paper flowers in storage, jealousy, that ugly monster, drove him to complete and deliver that bouquet. This testament to Lucas and Claire's love was now tainted half made by Victor. Lucas, you loved Claire? How much? Too bad. I'll never let you return. Notoriously cruel, Victor couldn't stand others' happiness. Abroad proved dull, Victor occasionally dreamed of Claire and that night. Such fleeting pleasure couldn't sustain sweet dreams. Not considering himself deeply in love, yet an inexplicable addiction gnawed at him, driving his return after graduation. Elena, beautiful, vivacious, and proactive, seemed his perfect match after 4 years pursuing him abroad. Before returning, Victor finally agreed to their engagement. A pragmatic decision. Though disinterested in marriage, it served practical purposes. But he never expected Claire to be his first familiar face upon arrival. Was she waiting for him? Did she remember him, hate him, or perhaps miss him too? All thoughts vanished when Claire turned away. Victor realized any emotion would suffice, love or hate or regret. Even seeing Lucas in him. Just don't ignore him. Just look at him. He envied a dead man. He envied himself. Victor acknowledged his sickness. But it didn't matter, he had the cure. Claire would heal him,